You are never going to achieve your dream physique, and here's why. Over the past year, I've talked to over 500 different people about their weight loss journeys, and the conversation tends to go something like this. Yeah, bro, I used to be happy with my physique when I was about 185 pounds. I'm now 230 pounds, but if I get back to 200, I think I'll be able to be 200 lean. And if I could guess your situation, you're probably in one of these two groups. Either you've been bulking for the past year and think that all you need to do is cut 10 pounds down and you'll look as lean as you were when you started the bulk, but way more muscular. And the second group is maybe you've already started your fitness journey or you're about to start it and you think once you lose 20 pounds, you're gonna look completely different. And both of these mindsets is the reason why over 70% of the population in America is overweight now. It's also the reason why less than 1% of the population has a visible six-pack. And so over the past year of helping multiple guys achieve their dream physiques and having this 2-month transformation for myself, I've learned a couple lessons that are gonna help you stay more consistent and explain why you lack consistency. All right, so the first thing is you have to lose more weight than you think. Now this picture is a 2-month transformation. Based off of this, you would guess I maybe lost a couple pounds, right? First one, I look decent, but not shredded abs, anything like that. And then the second picture, I am much leaner and also look more muscular. Now in the first picture, I was 172 pounds. And guess what I was in the second one? 155. Right, that was a 17-pound difference in 2 months. And I don't look that different. Like to the average person, they can tell I'm leaner, they can tell I'm a little bit more chiseled, but nothing looks too crazy about it. But that was a huge difference. That's the difference that people who are severely overweight think they need to make to get shredded, and it's just not. And something I realized along this journey for myself is you're not gonna lose fat proportionally. You're expecting that if you lose 20 pounds of fat, it's all gonna be in your stomach, right? Well, I learned the opposite. Before I noticed any change in my body, my face got leaner. And after my face, I started losing fat in other areas. Even the bottoms of my feet are more sensitive whenever I walk barefoot because I've lost some fat pads in my feet. I also carried a lot of fat in my glutes, which is gone now. I have noticeably less on my arms and shoulders, which is why they're more defined now, and I still have a decent amount around my abs. But when someone starts their journey, they think that they're gonna lose 20 pounds and it's all gonna get off of their belly, and then they'll be shredded, but that's just not the fact. It's your entire body. So what I've learned for myself is I need to double my expectations. I originally thought I would have to lose 10 pounds to get to where I wanted to be, but turns out 17 pounds in, I'm still not where I thought I would be. So double whatever that goal is in your head. If you think you only need to lose 20 pounds, you probably need to lose 40. And as you're going along this journey, you have to understand that comparison is the thief of joy and the reason that so many people fall off halfway through. I notice for this myself almost every day when I open Instagram to post one of my videos to help guys. In that process, I'll open my Explore feed and see about 50 guys who are way more muscular and way more shredded than I will ever be. And it gets discouraging. And whether you realize it or not, in the back of your head, you begin to rationalize going back to all the bad habits. You start to defend, oh, I'll never get to that point, so I might as well go out and eat the food that those guys aren't eating because I'll never look like them even if I stay locked in. And you may not directly realize you're thinking this, but you are in the back of your head. And it's gonna overall draw you away from the good habit because it seems so far away, and it's gonna draw you more easily into the bad habits because you're getting the instant gratification from those bad habits, whether that be overeating, skipping the gym, sleeping in, whatever it is. And so as you're on this journey, as you begin to look discouraged, comparing yourself to other guys who seem to have made twice the progress in half the time, understand that you should only be comparing yourself to the past version of yourself. Your only competition is yourself yesterday or yourself 1 month ago. Because when you look online, you're gonna be bombarded with about 50 transformations that probably use steroids, probably lied about how long it took them, and are also insanely edited to look perfect. They're gonna make you feel like you've made no progress at all on your journey. But you have to look back at yourself when you started. If you're going from 300 pounds to 280, that is huge. That is more progress than most people make in their entire life, which is why so much of the country is overweight now. So the only comparisons you should be making is your past self. That will allow you to see how far you've come regardless of everyone else's progress in the world. And going along with that, you have to understand that fitness is the ultimate form of delayed gratification. Now there's a quote from Alex Hormozy that goes something like, the reason that the successful person is so rare is because people think they can get there in half the time. People think that they can make their first $10,000 month in just 2 months. They think that they can get a shredded six pack in 3 months. But the fact is, you are expecting sometimes 2 years of progress in 2 months. And that's why so many people fall off. Now, some of the guys I look up to have been training consistently for 8 to 10 years. But based off of the way they post online, it seems like you could get that physique next month if you really tried hard enough. And that's just not true. And so like I said, if you're trying to lose 20 pounds, double it, because you'll probably have to lose 40 to look the way you want to look. It's the same with the timeline. If you think that you can lose 30 pounds in 3 months, double that. Most likely you're going to be losing it in 6 months. Now, sure, I do have a client who's been able to lose 20 pounds in 2 months, but he is a rare case and also extremely overweight. And it varies person to person. He probably has genetics. He probably has factors that play into his life that allow him to do it much more easily than you. But overall, weight loss shouldn't be an instant gratification habit, because you may not see your progress, you may not be happy with your results for years on end, but it's something that will benefit you for the rest of your life. I don't know any stats, so I'm just making these up, but let's say the average person who's 280 pounds lives to 60 years old. If you spend 2 years cutting your weight down from 280 to 200, you would be significantly more likely to live to 80 years old. So you're trading those 2 years of pain for an extra 20 years on your life. I cannot think of anything else that is going to get you that big of a return. Even financially, sacrificing 2 years to be more wealthy will save you 5 or 10 years down the road, but it's not going to get you that crazy of a result. So you have to broaden your horizons. Stop comparing yourself to people and stop looking at those dream physiques as something that you can attain in the next year. Even if you can, it is going to be a miserable process, and you're not going to end up looking perfect like them day to day. So focus on just becoming 1% better than yourself yesterday. 1% growth every single day will compound over the span of multiple years, and you will look like a completely unrecognizable person by the end of this journey. So now that you understand how much time and how much effort this is going to take, you're probably feeling a bit discouraged. I know I was for myself. And this is why you have to have a deeper purpose that is going to fuel you. Otherwise, you will never be able to stay consistent. And this is what separates the average men from the men who really look disciplined with their bodies, who walk into a room and everyone notices that they take themselves seriously. Those men have a deeper purpose than just wanting to look better or just wanting to get a six-pack. Because I'd argue that everyone in the world wants to look better, but yet only 1% of the population actually has the six-pack. And so you have to understand that this entire fitness journey is much more of a spiritual journey than it is a physical journey. One of my favorite quotes ever is, "The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." And right now you are chasing fleshly goals. And that's why when all of your friends go out and get hammered, your flesh is going to take over and want you to go along with them. There are so many times I've seen guys get so focused on those fleshly goals of looking better simply for themselves and selfish reasons that they can't control their emotions and let their emotions take over. And that's why you will fall to chasing that instant gratification as opposed to the long-term goals. Because your spirit is willing, your spirit wants that, but your flesh conquers your spirit in the moment and takes over that process. And so how do you change this from a fleshly journey to a spiritual journey? Well, you have to understand that fitness is much more of an act of worship as opposed to an act of selfish ambition. And as you go on this journey, you have to keep those spiritual goals at the center of it. Our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit who lives inside of us, and God gifted us our bodies for a reason. And therefore, everything we do with our body either draws us closer to God or draws us away from our Maker. The moment that you understand that you are blessed with a body and that you need to be making the most of your time here on earth, everything you do is going to begin to come from a place of gratitude and not a place of selfish ambition. And that's gratitude that God sacrificed his son for us to have eternal life. That's gratitude for even having the chance to be on the earth in the first place. And so that deeper purpose isn't trying to get a six-pack, isn't trying to look good to attract a girl. It's to build a disciplined body that reflects an unbreakable relationship with your creator. And that's what's going to separate you from the past version of yourself. Your past version wants that six-pack just as bad as this new version, but he snoozes. He falls to those cravings and those bad habits because those fleshly desires overcome his big goals. But the man who's on a mission to honor God in everything he does understands that this journey is about more than just him. It's about drawing him closer to God and operating from a place of gratitude and worship towards God. And I talk about this principle in all of my other videos, so if you want to understand how to actually make this journey a spiritual journey, watch my previous video. So in conclusion, you have to understand that that this journey is going to be much harder than you think. And the reason that you're not happy with your results is because you're comparing yourself to unrealistic expectations. Double the amount of time you think it's going to take, double the amount of effort you want to put in, and center your life around that deeper purpose of doing it all for the glory of God and not for the glory of yourself. And guys, the biggest thing that I see that holds men back from achieving their dream physique is lacking the proper structure and accountability. Because the truth is, you have all of the information you'll ever need to get to that dream physique online. Spend 30 seconds with ChatGPT and you'll have everything before you that you need. But still, only 1% of the population actually has that six pack. And it's because they have that accountability, they have that deeper purpose, and on top of that, they have a clear structure with simple habits to follow every day to get there. And so if that's something that you need help with, if you're ready to take this journey to the next level, book a call with me down below and we'll go over exactly how you can hold yourself more accountable and how you can truly see twice the results you've seen in the past year over the next year. So book that call down below. And guys, remember to subscribe for more faith and fitness videos like this. Like this video so that I boost it to more people who need to hear this message. And DM me on Instagram with any questions or concerns that you may have. I'd love to help you out. And if you take away just one thing from this entire video, remember that fitness is a spiritual journey and not a fleshly journey.